Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoe Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
We're back at it, ladies and gentlemen, at the Local Show. Thanks for joining us and having some good conversation with many people who are of local bent. They have local businesses, they're local organizations. You'll hear it all here, local, and we have a ball doing it, especially during the holidays. You know, as the holidays approach, people get more and more into their families and into the local environment because people come in from out of town. They come back to where they roosted. Is that the thing?
Yeah, roosted? Sure. It's funny you said that, the holidays. I didn't know what you were going to say because I never know what you're going to say.
Right, which is good.
And I was thinking about the holidays. I was thinking about you working at Radio Shack 40 years ago. I'm in service merchandise. You're ramping up for the, around Thanksgiving, ramping up for the holidays.
It's my favorite time of year.
The day after Thanksgiving, we worked a 12-hour day.
Yes, all the time. Yeah.
And as a kid.
Yep.
As a 16-year, nobody cared back then, right? And it was different. It was different times.
It was cool. Over at Radio Shack, we used to put the big ribbons and bows around the laser disc players and the big speakers and all that. That was fun.
Yep. Service merchandise, right?
Yeah.
So you had that conveyor belt, and you'd pray to God that your stuff would actually come out, but sometimes it didn't. It got lost or whatever. Yeah. Selling cameras back there and doing the stuff that I loved.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot about electronics, stereo, sound, and things.
VCRs for places don't exist anymore.
VCRs for like $2,000.
Yeah.
Think about what that would be in today's dollar. Right?
It's crazy stuff, man.
But different times, everybody just goes online and goes, I took care of it on Amazon.
And the other thing people think about now, of course, is food. So it's very appropriate to have Lynn High on right now. She is the Chief Development Officer at the Food Bank of Central New York. How you doing there, Lynn?
I'm great, guys. How are you?
Good.
I can add to your story.
You can.
She's really shy, Tom.
My long hours the day after Thanksgiving and leading up to Thanksgiving, my high school job was at Harrison Bakery. So I smelled like a donut every day.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Wow. Confectionery Delight. That's Harrison. Wonderful place.
Yeah, well, I worked those long hours, but just with donuts, not with electronics and such.
Did sales go up on Black Friday?
The day before Thanksgiving really was kind of a nightmare.
The big thing. So what did you do aside from Harrison?
A little bit everything.
Yeah, what did you go to college for?
My degree actually is in sports management because I made up a degree at the University of Buffalo because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I did. You can apply to the school. You can petition the school and make up a degree program. You have to justify it and you have to have professors sponsor you. So instead of actually declaring something they offered, I went through all that work.
Very
to
good.
Be sports management and because I grew up with sports and I ended up working at the Buffalo Sabres.
That's pretty cool. Were they winning back then?
I'd like to say that they haven't really been to the playoffs since I left.
Okay, I gotcha.
It was the year of the Cup. If you're familiar with hockey, skating the crease and all that kind of stuff. Dominic Hasek, all those guys were there.
Yeah. The last hockey game, Tom, I watched was the Olympics in 1980.
That's funny.
When the USSR,
Sure.
Yeah, so, anyway.
Some of us are a little too young to remember that.
That was the last. I've been to a Crunch game or two. They're exciting in person.
Hockey's amazing in person.
On TV, I find it not captivating. Is that
You're
fair?
like what I like to call a Fox fan. You liked when it was on Fox and they made the glowing puck.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Watch it around. We called them Fox fans.
That would have been me because you don't see the speed when you watch it. Go to a Crunch game.
Yes, I've gone.
Things are just.
Yeah,
it's
happening,
amazing.
Man. It's very different in person.
TV, it's like, who cares?
Very nice. So
sorry, we're here to talk about the food.
No, that's okay, and we will. I bet you partied a little bit over on Delaware Ave.
Chippewa.
Chippewa. Okay, there you go. Very nice. Think I don't know, Steve? Huh? I know.
I know you don't know.
All right. So, what led you to the food bank?
So my husband actually used to work in local television media. We were living out of town, decided to move back to Syracuse where I grew up. And he got a job at then WSTM. It was before it was CMY Central.
Okay. What did he do there?
He was a photographer.
I never knew that.
Yeah, so he was a photographer there.
What was his name? Or what is his name? It's not like he's a was.
Well, he changed it to Prince. No, Jason High.
No, I don't know, Jason.
I like to say he's the 6'4" bald photographer that used to be around.
Oh, that guy?
That guy.
I've known a lot of photogs, but I don't know him.
So you might if you saw him, but he was there for 6 years, and then he left there and went to now Spectrum, but formerly Time Warner. He was there for Time Warner, and actually he got a job still shooting and editing videos, and he works for SUNY Oswego now. He's been there more than 6 years. 7 years almost.
We've known quite a few people up at Oswego that are in that department.
Yeah. Okay. Well, actually, he's in a different department than the ones you're thinking of. I know who you're thinking of, and it's a different department.
It's different. Okay.
Well, Tim is up there now, too.
Tim Taylor, yeah.
Tim Taylor, yeah.
So he works with Tim a lot, and then Jim Kearns.
Yeah, Jim Kearns.
He works with a lot, but he's in a different department than them.
Does that have anything to do with the food bank at all?
No, nothing. We still haven't talked about
I think we need another 10 minutes, guys.
Reset the clock. Here we go.
Go ahead. Food bank.
So the food bank.
So I got a job at, I took care of my grandmother. She passed, and then I started kind of looking for a job. Mm-hmm. And I was hired by Salvation Army of Syracuse area here, and I worked for them for about 5.5 years. And then I went to the food bank, and in about 10 days, it'll be 12 years that I've been there.
Wow. Well, you do a great job over there. What's the relationship of the Central New York Food Bank and the individual food pantries?
So we kind of liken ourselves to we're like the distribution center that is behind the scenes of each individual food pantry, soup kitchen, the emergency food network. Mm-hmm. So we have, a 70,000 square foot facility where we have dry goods storage and we have refrigerator freezer space. And we're accepting in truckloads of food from United States Department of Agriculture, their food commodities program, from donated food, whether it's coming from food manufacturer, distributor, farmer, retail partner. And then we're also purchasing food. On average, we purchase, I'll say maybe 650,000 pounds of food every month.
Wow.
We're distributing out 1.5, 1.6, 1.7 million, depending on the month, back into the community. So we're that kind of big distribution center behind the scenes. We have a fleet of vehicles that's bringing them out to those individual food pantries and soup kitchens so that they can serve the people that are in need right in their community.
So you're the mothership.
Sure.
Right?
Mothership of food.
Or distribution center.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, in addition to that, we do have direct distributions. We have our mobile food pantry. We have fresh foods. We offer nutrition education, SNAP outreach. There's a whole host of services that we provide in addition to that food for individuals and families that are facing food insecurity.
How can people get involved? It's a great cause. How can people get involved?
Well, there's many ways. First thing, go to our website, foodbankcny.org. You can find out about all of the volunteer opportunities that we have. You can find out information about food drives. We ask for people to help us with our advocacy efforts because elected officials need to know how different pieces of legislation are going to affect the constituents in the communities that they are representing, whether it's local, state, or federal level. And then really, of course, monetary donations are really key to us being able to provide this food. I mean, we need to keep our trucks on the road.
Yes,
and I mean, we drove over 300,000 miles just last year.
Oh, good golly. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Can people physically volunteer too?
Yes, people can physically volunteer. We have volunteers almost every single day at the food bank, helping to sort food, pack boxes of food. But we have a really great volunteer core. So I think sometimes people go on and they look at that portal that we have because it shows you everything that's available and they say, I can't get in for the next 2 months. But it's just keep trying because it changes. We add things. Like just today, I added the next 4 Wednesdays so we could pack bags of food that are going to go to children in the Syracuse City School District.
Right.
And I literally added those 5 minutes before I came here.
So it's probably good to get involved now, of course, with the holidays approaching. I imagine you see a little bit of an uptick, yes?
Yes, we do. We see, just in general, it's not just the holidays we're seeing, but we're seeing that uptick because of everything that's going on in the economy. From what we're seeing, the number-wise, is it's about a 40% increase so far that we've seen in the past few months.
Well, you and your organization do such a great job. Lynn, thank you for your energy and for your organization. Lynn High right there, Chief Development Officer at the Food Bank of Central New York. You have a great rest of the day, okay?
You guys too.
All right. Coming up next, we're going to talk with Shelley Skripnichuk. She's the owner of Danzer's German and American Gasthof right here on the local show on 570 WSYR and 106.9 FM.